Find the limit as x approaches 2 of the function 3x squared minus x minus 10 over x squared minus 4. The first thing you need to do when you have a limit problem, you take this value and you plug it in for x and see what happens. So let's do that. 2 squared minus 2 minus 10 over 2 squared minus 4. Plug these numbers in the calculator, or do it in your head, or do it on the paper. However you do it, this is going to come up to be 0, and the bottom is also 0. Now, 0 over 0 doesn't convey any meaningful information for us mathematically. The term that we use to define this expression is indeterminate form, which means that you have to go back to this expression and factor top and bottom in order to find a meaningful result. In other words, something that tells you what the real value of the limit is. So let's go ahead and factor this expression. So the top of expression, 3x squared minus x minus 10, think of this as a quadratic expression where you can express it as ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, why am I doing this? Because we're going to use a method called the AC method to factor this expression. Now, the AC method, what you do is you take your numbers AC, which in our expressions are 3 and minus 10, multiply them together, so you get A times C, which in this case is minus 30. Now you take your number B, and our expression is minus 1. You want to find the factors of minus 30 that when you add them together, they come up to be minus 1. Now, mind you, this involves a combination of signs. For example, you could take 2 and 15, and if you put a negative sign in front of 2, you get minus 30. Also, if you make 2 positive and you put the negative sign in front of minus 15, you'll get minus 30. We're not going to list each one of these combinations. So, let's say 2 and 15 gives me minus 30. Now, if I add those two together, I get what? Positive 13. So this is not minus 1. Even if I take positive 2, let me write it here, positive 2 and negative 15, that gives me minus 30, but if I add them together, it doesn't give me negative 1. So we have to find another set of factors. Now we're going to try minus 3 and 10. Minus 3 and 10 gives me positive 7. Now, positive 3 and minus 10 gives me negative 7. Alright, so we know that these factors won't do it either. Now, let's try 6 or negative 6 and 5. When you add these two together, negative 6 plus 5, you get what? You get minus 1. And this is exactly what we want. So this is the set of factors that I'm going to use in order to factor this expression. Now, how do you factor it? Well, you take the first and the last and you leave them alone for now. So 3x squared and this is minus 10. Now you take the minus 6 and 5 and you put x next to each other. So minus 6x plus 5x. Now, if you notice, when you add these two together, you're going to come back to negative x. So this is why we want these two factors to give us this number here. Now, what you do is you take out a common factor between these two and between these two and see if it works out. So in our case, we're going to take out 3 is a common factor. So I can take 3. Now, x is also a common factor. So I'm going to take 3x. Inside parentheses, I'm going to have x minus, and this is going to be 2. All right. Now, these pair, I can take out 5 as a common factor. So, take out 5, and I'm left with x minus 2. Notice that the parentheses expression is the same in the 2, which is exactly what I want, because now you can take the whole parentheses as a common factor. So now you have 3x plus 5 x minus 2, and this is my factorization of this expression here. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the other expression, which is x squared minus 4, x squared minus 4. Now, there is a factorization formula that says that if you have the difference of the squares, for example, a squared minus b squared, this is equal to the sum of the two multiplied by the difference of the two. We're going to take advantage of this formula here. So this is x squared and this is 2 squared. So this expression can be factored as the sum of the two times the difference of the two. Okay? Now, this and this is what I'm going to use to replace these two expressions and get a limit that actually makes sense mathematically. So let me take my two expressions here. Let me take this one and this one. So remember, draw a line here. And we're going to say, now let me move over. Okay, let me just copy it and then move over. So I'm going to say limit as x approaches 2 of my top expression, which is this, factor 3x plus 5 times x minus 2 divided by the factorization of my bottom expression, which is x plus 2 times x minus 2. Let me just scroll over. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this, and you can probably see that these factors are the same exact thing. So we can cross them out on the numerator and denominator. Now I can re-express the whole thing as the limit as x approaches 2 of 3x plus 5 divided by x plus 2. Now I'm going to plug in the value of 2 for x. So this is equal to 3 times 2 plus 5 divided by 2 plus 2. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 5, 11 divided by 2 plus 2 is 4. So 11/4. Now, this is an actual number, and this is a value that makes sense mathematically. So we conclude that the limit as x approaches 2 of the function 3x squared minus x minus 10 divided by x squared minus 4 is equal to 11/4. And this value was obtained by factorization of the numerator and denominator of the function.